The Fleet Mag Celebrity Corner with DJ Pynk Dyamond. Today's special guest, 112. I appreciate you coming on the Fleet Mag call tonight, the Talk Zone. I'm DJ Pynk Dyamond. I'm representing Virginia, but I'm from New York City, so just so you know that. Slim, you started off first, and then Michael, you jump in. What's been going on? Tell us about the musical journey from I guess maybe the middle part of the 2000s, where you're at right now. I want to know what's going on because I'm ready to hear some music.
Oh, okay. Well, 112, we've been definitely doing our thing. We've always been a touring artist. So, I mean, up until presently, like we're always traveling somewhere around the world. We're like global, just doing a lot of arenas and stuff like that. We've been doing a lot of tours. Um, I mean, from the early 2000s, I would say, we left Bad Boy 2003, joined Def Jam, and I say 2004,
Okay.
and we dropped two projects there. The fourth and fifth album went platinum and gold and platinum. It's almost double platinum now. And then let's say then we had a little hiatus, got back together in 2012, uh, went on a tour, put out another project. Um, then two of the guys left, and then Mike and I, we've been like continually doing music. We dropped an EP
Okay.
called Forever. One of the records for us was nominated for a Grammy. Uh, and we just been doing a lot of tours, just been doing a lot of shows ever since then. Still keeping up the legacy, still doing our thing.
Okay. So Michael, what tours do you guys have coming up?
Well, Germany. We
Okay.
have this old but gold kind of. It's the name of it's old but gold tour that they're doing over in Hanover and Dusseldorf. So we're going over there tomorrow to do two shows one night, and then when we come back, we're doing a lot of one-offs. And for those that don't know what one-offs are, they're like instead of a tour, we deal with individual promoters that have individual shows for individual cities. And we're just gearing up for this Kings of R&B tour that we're doing next year. So that's what we're getting ready for. Big shout out to Mona Scott to help putting all that together. So we're excited for the opportunity to still be out here 28 years later, you know, still doing what we do, still jamming, still touring the world and seeing different, people and different musics and different genres and different people. And, we're excited for the opportunity to get out there, man, and do what one will do.
That's what I'm talking about because we definitely love R&B and we want to get that feeling, that vibe back into it. Because R&B, I don't know, growing up, I grew up with you guys. I listened to lots of music and all the music that was played back then, guess what? It's still being played now. So you guys have the timeless music, you know what I'm saying? And bringing in some new music and new things. You have a new journey. It's good to see that you still are holding on strong for sure. Because I was always listening to 112 all the
Absolutely.
time. All the
That's right.
time. So, Slim, um, tell me though, how does it feel to know, even though you guys songs are still being played and you're mixing in your new stuff, how does that make you feel going forward? Because y'all are still strong as ever. Um, and what are your thoughts on bringing us this new vibe? Because we're excited. I know I am.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, that's what we've been, aiming to do. Like before anything, any single, any album has been put out, our main objective was to be that group, like the groups that we looked up to. Like, you had we were going all the way back to the Temptation, the OJs, New Edition, Boys to Men, Jodeci, like groups that, put out records years and years later that everyone's still singing them and they're interpolating them and, you know, uh, just still like keeping the music new and fresh. You know what I'm saying? And we're just blessed, very humble, you know what I mean? And we can go anywhere in the world and they might not be able to speak English, but they know they know our records word for word. And that part right there, it feels like mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we are, just humbled and blessed at, you know.
Okay, I love it. So, Michael, when you guys were growing up, right? And I'm quite sure, because Slim, you mentioned a couple of artists. Who was your inspiration growing up?
They would, well, personally, my influences were um, the like the Stevie Wonders of the world, the Donny Hathaways. Um, I listen to John P. Key a lot. Um, I was a big fan of Jodeci personally. I was a big fan of Casey or Jodeci at one point. Well, I still am. Let me not paint that picture as if I'm not still a fan of his. But I was a big fan of Jodeci at that point. But as far as the group was concerned, like a lot of our musical influences were Commission, Take Six, the Winans. We had a lot of influences, So and it was based on our musical abilities. The thing about 112 is like we was able to figure out who influenced us the most. And for me, it was always those big tenor slash baritone singing gospel dudes. That was who were the major influences. Like Marvin Winans was a big influence for me. Again, Donny Hathaway, Casey from Jodeci. Um, I was always that David Ruffin dude, you know what I mean? So it was that was the influences that I had. So anybody that had that chicken and grits kind of vibe, as far as singing and stuff, like that's who influenced me. So the Otis Reddings of the world, um, yeah, it was those were the kind of dudes that influenced me. And to be honest, the greatest influence that I had was my grandmother, because
Oh,
she was a Sam Cooke fan. And although I don't sing like Sam Cooke and I don't have his kind of tone or whatever, it was the impact that he had, that the swag that he had on his records, that you could tell, like Shawty he was about that life, you know what I mean? And you could tell just by the way he sung, this dude to be like brushing his hair and singing at the same time, like that was, and driving the women crazy back in the day, you know what I mean? Like I really feel like if my grandmama could have, she would have, you know what I'm saying? So that was, that was the influence, that so she always would have me sing or listen to Sam Cooke, and that was a big influence for me as well. So I was always attracted to, or I had an affinity with the soulful aspect of music, of R&B music. So those who my influences were.
okay. All right. Slim, who were your influences?
Well, I mean, I think, as far as the groups are concerned, Mike, our worlds collide there with all of the groups that he named. But personally, it was like Babyface or El DeBarge, Smokey Robinson, yes,
Oh, yeah.
Raphael Sadiq, just anyone who had a signature voice. I used to love like Ron Isley, like any type of artist that had that particular voice. Like, hey, he didn't even have to. It didn't matter how he sang. You know what I mean? Like he could whisper. Everyone knew who his voice was. You know what I mean? And they had a certain signature about their voice. So that was just a master. In its own craft there. So Yeah, those were the artists that I looked up to.
Those are some good. Both of y'all did good artists because I love all of them too, for sure. Um, Michael, what is the biggest reward of being a recording artist?
The biggest reward, honestly, it's longevity. You know, because when we're dead and gone, people will still be able to listen to our music. You know, if it's always going to be out there, like we'll live in infamy. We'll always be like, in a sense, we'll be immortal. You know, we'll always live, forever through our music and stuff, man. Like that's one of the greatest things that I can take from this, the fact that we created something that the world appreciated and will always have a fan base, because even our fan base allows their kids to listen to our music and they love it. So it's a cyclical thing. Like it goes on and on and on and on and on, and it's generational. So I would say that the greatest thing that we got from being in the music industry is that the longevity and the fact that our music is going to live on way past us.
You are absolutely right by saying that because Friday I met this young lady. She's 39 years old. She's a black female. She owns a business. So she and I were talking, right? So, I was looking for something to throw a party. And she started talking to me, and she was like, "Well, I'm looking for a DJ." It lucked up that I became her DJ for November 9th, and she let me get into her venue for November 16th. So we did this barter thing. But you know what shocked me was she's 39 years old. So she's like one of my kids' ages, right? So she's like, but I don't want to hear no trap. I don't want to hear the music that plays today. I only want to hear the 90s music. And I'm like looking at her and I'm like, just from what you just said, she listened to that music with her parents growing up, and that's the type of music she's accustomed to now. And she's young, you know? So I was like, 90s, I got you covered, honey. Don't even worry about it. So I
Yeah.
definitely agree with what you just said, Michael. So
Yeah.
I got a question. We did not grow up with the internet. We
Right.
just we had regular house phones. We didn't have cell phones. We fought over the phones, right? So,
Fact.
how does, or shall I say, what do you think about social media these days with the music industry?
Well, I think social media has its pros and cons. You're so right. Google came out in 98. Our first album came out in 96. So really, you know, with promoting, promoting our music and just getting ourselves out there to the world was more on a more I say organic type of a situation. Like it was like hand to hand situations. You had to constantly do things over and over again. You strive to have as many as perfect performances or conversations, interviews as much as possible, right? And the pros of the social media is like, okay, you can reach out to everyone. You can reach out there to everyone at one time. Boom, and you can display with music, an interview, whatever type of message you want to present. You know what I'm saying? And that's a great thing. I would say one of the cons that most of the people that are paying attention to things, they're more we're more in the nosy stage. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Less of the, like, see, when we came out in the 90s, it was like your talent, and the least you knew, the better. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it was all about the music. You know what I'm saying? And we could really control basically whatever we wanted. You know what I mean? And so when it was that way, when you have a great face card and you have great talent. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And people fail for that. Now you look at it, it's definitely different. People want to know your ins and outs, you know what I mean? And that's not always good all the time, you know what I mean? You're gonna have highs and lows. Everybody, they're able to not only to witness it, but they're able to judge you all at
Right.
one time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you know, I mean, as far as 112 is concerned, we've always kept it, you know what I'm saying? We pretty much try to keep it as much about music and, you know what I'm saying, what we wanted to deliver to the world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's also a fingerprint. So I always try to talk to the younger artists to say, hey, be very careful what you put out there, because once you put it out there, can't take it back.
That's right. I be trying to tell my daughter that too. Watch what you put out there for sure. All right, so what new music are we getting ready to get?
You know what? I would say this. So, you know, so Mike and I, we're always on the road. We're always like anywhere in the world, and people are always asking us like, yo, like, well, when are we coming out with like new music or whatever? And you have to understand, like, we're 112, we're blessed to have this thing where, we're not the group that put out 10 and 12 albums and only 3 of them did good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we put out 6 projects, 5 of them we have plaques, and they've been nominated for awards or whatever, right?
Right.
And for us, it's more like quality than quantity. 112 never spoke on anything that had to do with what's going on in the community or what's going on in the world. We always kept it about love, good, bad, and ugly, right?
Hmm.
Well, around pandemic time, you know, there were a lot of things, there were other things that were going on. There was like a lot of social issues that were going on in the African American community. And that inspired us to drop a record called For Us. Now,
Okay.
because of, if you pay attention to 112's writing skills, like, we can talk about multiple things with one sentence, but it really affected Mike and I you know what I mean, in personal ways, where, us being African American men and seeing what was going on in 8K right in front of us. It's so much things going on in the world. And usually when you're going through the 9 to 5 and hustle and bustle, and for us, it's like a 24-hour thing. We don't really go to sleep that much. But when everybody was kind of made to sit still, we watched a lot of television.
Hmm.
And that's when you really start seeing a lot of things. We start seeing a lot of shootings. There were situations that was going on between the law enforcement and our community. And, I mean, it definitely wasn't fair on our end. You know what I'm saying? So we dropped the record call For Us, and it drew a lot of attention, and we were nominated for a Grammy for it. You know what I mean? That was a blessing. Um, but other than that, like, we have to be inspired. Now, like myself, like, I mean, I have music. I definitely have music that's supposed to be coming out. I don't really like to give like dates and stuff like
I
that.
know, I know, I
You know what
know,
I'm
I
saying?
know.
Because it's just like, and that's, I'm telling you, like, I guess I've been so focused in the whole 112 thing. So it's like, yes, I work with a lot of artists and young artists that are out now, you know what I mean? But I do it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want the new artists to just pay attention so much on the shortcuts of Pro Tools, or, just like everything has to be some form of plug-in or something like that. That's not really cool. Like we kind of want to bring it back to like you have live instruments, the you know real harmonies, and, just like real hooks, just stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm very picky and choosy with like collaborations and stuff that I do, or stuff like that, or whatever. So right now, Mike and I, we're out here all around the world. We're doing a lot of great arenas, and, we link up with a lot of our friends that were definitely dominant in the golden era of the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And we're still doing our thing, I mean, hell, we probably making more money than the younger artists out here.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. So, before I kind of let you guys go, um, I want to find out from each one of you, right? What is the best advice that someone has given you and you have taken that into consideration and used it to your best abilities?
Well, I know that dude ain't in anybody's favor right now, but Puff told us a long time ago that emotions will keep you broke, you know, and I've taken that. This was like 96 when he told us that. And
Hmm.
I've taken that to heart ever since, you know, and it was right, and he was right about that. Like if you're doing business with an emotional heart, then 9 times out of 10, that other person is going to gain an advantage over you because you're doing it with an emotion, and that person is using their mind. And not saying that you're not using your mind either, but you're using emotion as well. And if you're using your heart and you're thinking about a decision that's based on heart and emotion rather than logic and reason, and 9 times out of 10, that other person who is using logic and reason is going to take advantage of the situation. So that's one of the greatest lessons that I've learned in the music industry. Like if you're an emotional person, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be on the butt end of every deal that you do because you're using your mind. I mean, I'm sorry, you're using your heart as opposed to using your mind.
Okay, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that one. All right, you Slim.
Well, I mean, I just think, like the best one that was probably like, it wasn't just meant for just music. It was just life in general. It's just like, do what you love, you know? Yeah, like you just do, honestly, just do what you love. And I apply that to like everything in my life, you know what I mean? And like I live with no regrets, you know what I mean? I'm like I said, I'm very particular with people that I have around my circle. Anybody that you see around me, I mean, I honestly love them. Like I love them. I care about them and their well-being, and but I have a small circle. You know what I'm saying? And I like it like that. You know what I'm saying? So it it keeps all the foolishness away. You know what I'm saying? And when you're young, you have a lot of patience to deal with a lot of tomfoolery and stuff. But as you start getting older, and I hope like young artists are paying attention to this, as you start getting older, you start losing a lot of patience. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of patience for a lot of like foolishness and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, do what you love, and that's just the best path and the fastest way to success. You know what I'm saying? What you feel success is in your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
I
I would say.
love I love it. I love it. Both of it. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I hate to see you leave so fast, but I would like, can y'all let us know when y'all come to the East Coast, like DC, Maryland, Virginia, so we can come out, support. If you got anything that, because we have the fleet, the whole fleet nation worldwide. So we probably got some DJs and stuff. Where y'all going
Yeah.
tomorrow? So reach out, let us know when y'all doing like a East Coast, West Coast tour, whatever, Midwest, Mid South, wherever you're going, keep us in touch. I would like to do a part two, or maybe get you guys interviewed on our national call for the fleet DJs, or even some state calls too, so that way we can get everybody on board. I know you ain't releasing no dates, but I know something is
Now
coming.
we actually got a date for you on July 18th. We're in Norfolk, Virginia.
How about that?
July
Okay.
8th, July 18th,
Oh, we
July
can't.
18th.
We can't. We can't. Guess why? We
Why?
Why?
are having our 13th annual music conference in
Uh,
Orlando, Florida.
you know
Okay.
what's
Well, what
crazy?
about
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
August 17th? We got Middleburg, Virginia.
I can do Middleburg, Virginia.
August
I can
17th. Okay.
August 17th. Yes.
And
I'm
big
looking at
shout outs to the
it.
Fleet DJs. You know what I'm saying? You are very instrumental, you know what I'm saying, of SoFly going top 5 in the double platinum joint. And I did that independently. And I have this thing where I always say DJs make the world go round. So I love, I'm very familiar with like the DJ conferences and you know what I mean, and all of the DJ crews, you know what I'm saying? Fleet DJs definitely, you know what I'm saying, played a strong part, you know what I'm saying, of my solo success. So I really, really, really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That's So Fly and Good Loving, like y'all really held me down. You know what I'm saying? That was a top 20 record and a top 5 joint. So man, as soon
We
as I
appreciate
designed the
you.
joint, I need to
Yeah, so keep us definitely keep us in touch, tune everything with what's going on. I'm definitely gonna look up Middleburg tonight to see how far, because I'm in Fredericksburg, so that might be around the corner. I never know. But anyway, I enjoyed talking to you guys. Like I said, we're gonna reach out to you, try to get you on a national call, and have a safe trip over there in Germany. Keep your head high, stay focused, and I'm loving that y'all are coming back stronger.
No doubt.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate you.
Y'all have a great evening, and we'll get back in touch with your manager, and we'll go from there and keep you rolling.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
Thank you, and have a great night. Thank you, Fleet
Yes, ma'am.
family.
All right. 112 forever.
For interviews, music news, and entertainment, go to thefleetmag.com.